Here with more space engineers, and today we're gonna work on the hangar space. So when we were together on Wednesday, I had mentioned we were gonna work on the box form, and then we'd come back today and work on the doors. Well, I kind of lied. It wasn't intentional. So what happened is I started playing around with some ideas, and yeah, you know me, I start getting carried away with stuff, and that's what happened again here. So let's talk about what we have done. So what we've done is I've gone ahead and put the baseline in. I know there was some question about what I was referring to when I was talking about how I do the center of the doors. And so I wanted to show you exactly what we were talking about. So I started mocking some things up. And as I was working, I realized, I'm kind of liking this. So instead of tearing it all down and rebuilding it again, let's walk through what we have. And we'll replicate it over on the other side. So what I'm thinking here is that the center of this will end up with walkways in it. Basically, it'll be kind of like an open screen looking thing. What we're talking about here is we've got the full line on both sides. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so what I'm thinking here is that we will say, do something like that. And then obviously I'll come back and put the corners in. Let's turn off the auto rotation. 2, 3 and 4. And so basically we're going to have this area that's kind of well defended, and an obvious weakness is because we can. Oh, so I think that's good. There we go. That leaves, should be the corners open, yeah. Okay, so get a couple of more in here. We're going to flip this around. Okay. And that should get us where we need to be for the most part there. And now what I'm thinking here is for these guys, let's go other way. I want corner is going to go there. So do a corner there, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to have more of the same over on this side. So we'll do that and that, and then what we will do here is we'll have that style. We're going to do the same over here. And now that we've gotten all of this in, so we can actually just start putting this stuff in like so. And then we can have, yeah, we'll do this way. It's fun. All right. Now I know a bunch of you are going to go, how? You've got all this heavy armor up here, you've got those blast plates and everything, but you've got this giant hole in your defenses. Yeah, I know. You know, it has to look good. It doesn't have to defend well. Alright, so with all of that done, let's go into here. We're going to grab, let's drop that out for now. That's what I want. No, actually, I can get away with it with this one, huh? Okay. So we have some options as to what we're doing here. So that's not the one I want. I want... Okay, maybe I can't get away with that. Oh, you know what? I know where it is. Not that one. We want that one. It gives us the extended blocks. Alright, so if we go with the inverse of that, which is going to be that one. There we go. Okay. So we can do this. And basically what we're doing is I just want to give you an idea what this door's, what a finished door will look like. And we're going to recreate this. I've already got the outline for the second door, but then I have to create 2 more on the other side. And what those are going to do is be the inverse of these. So where you have the notch, the extended notch here, we're going to have an indent on the other side and an extended notch on either side of it. And when these open, we can actually show you what this is going to look like. So if we open this, you're going to have these nice panels that when it opens, you know, the ship will be able to get in and out. And then we'll have the second one also open like this. And what that'll allow us to do is to build the doors on the other side, and then we can close everything up and see how it fits. In theory, at least. Oh, so I'm kind of curious as to what this looks like. Let's go to our spy cam for a second. Ooh. Let's turn off our UI. Turn on the light so you can actually see. Yeah, I'm liking where that's going, I think. And then, yeah, like I said, basically that allows us to have the entire space in there for either a really large ship build or several smaller ships, like 2 or 3 medium ships, or, you know, just some ridiculous number of really small utility craft. Now, the other thing that I was thinking, go ahead and go back in here, is taking this, once we have this built, and replicating it on, oh, hello. Excuse you. Sheesh. I was going to say, replicating it, at least in part, on both this side and the side over there. So maybe have, just say, the first hangar space out there. But I don't know yet. I may actually build something else out on these 2 wings. And maybe we'll do like a sliding door or something that takes, you know, what we have and makes it a little bit different. Hopefully more fun, or as fun at least. All right, so let's go ahead and close you and close you. Aha. All right, there's only 2 zombies this time. Nice. So now we get to talk about this side. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to have this wall, or this door, come over, around, and over. And to show you what we did with that, yeah, here we go. We basically went this way with it. And then when you get to that last corner, we do a shift to there, and a shift to there. So if you're doing this at home, the easy thing to remember is that when you're going from any edge, if you're going from the blast door edge, if you want to go to a corner, if you're using a scroll wheel mouse, you can actually just do 2 scrolls up, and that'll take you to the corner. So if you're trying to speed build something, that will hopefully help get you a little bit further along on it. And then from here, if you just go 1 block up, that'll take you to the inside turn, which then a second block takes you to the outside turn. And then you can do 2 skips, skips back down. Rinse and repeat. like so, etc., etc. All right. And so what we're going to do is just do a couple of more of these. Oh. All right, and this is going to end here, so I have to remember that this is, actually, do it from this side. So there we go, like so. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have one here, and then because this is where it breaks, we're going to have a turn here, which we can then take from that, and that comes straight back. Of course, I need more steel plates. So just so you all know, this isn't something that I sat here and, you know, was like, oh, okay, this is what we're going to do. I ended up using, well, I should say, I ended up taking, I don't know, maybe 4 hours or so. I know all you ever see is the stuff that I'm working on camera, and a lot of times I do things kind of off the cuff, and some of this was, but at the same time, a lot of it actually was just trying to figure out how I wanted, what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. You know, it's like there's definitely a I guess you say design language, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the design language for this aspect of it. And then if I come over here, just check, make sure nothing broke, everything's working, which is good. And then we'll have to fill in the lines there so that that is actually a single line. Alright, so what we're going to do is, actually I need to go to someplace where I have a control terminal, because you can't do this on those buttons, unfortunately. If I put in the actual sci-fi button or the 4-button panel, I could, but it's okay. I want these two. This is going to be large Hangar 01. We're going to say, oh, I don't know. Let's call it Hangar doors. Now, the reason I did this is so that we can come over here, and this is just going to be a temporary button, so I'm not too worried about it. I want groups. Hangar doors. And we're going to have these set to reverse, just because I'm being lazy. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to close this one. Normally what I would do is I would have a button to open and a button to close. And then the big panic button will have all of them set. So if you hit the big panic button, it closes everything down regardless of what state it's in. Right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Because the big test is going to see, does everything work the way it's supposed to? It's mostly open, right? Looks like it's open. Okay. So now if we hit the big button, the question is it going to eat itself? Hopefully not, but yeah. Oh, look at that. Everything looks good. Okay. And that is going to be our first of the actual hangar door systems. And let me adjust my mic. I'm going to have to go back and edit this. There we go. That might be a little bit better. Okay. Let's see here. So you're going to get just a regular blast door block. As are you. I'm going to turn off the auto rotate. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did before, which is going to be these guys like so. Not quite sure how far out I can get this. Alright, so just do it this way then. Okay, we may as well, right? Just basically just trying to do it without using too much hydrogen, but that's okay. It's just faster. Oopsie. Alright, and you are going to be that way. That way. Quick. We can do it. We can do it. There we go. Alright, so that gets us that set of doors done. And then obviously we just have to put the walkways in, but I'm more worried about getting the actual door frames in place first. I want to make sure, did we get everything here? We did, okay. I couldn't remember if we gotten all of the normalizing blocks in as well. Now I did go ahead and weld up the hinges over here because I needed to have positive traction on them because I didn't want them basically flopping around and going, oh, you know, so makes everything much more difficult if you're if everything isn't where it needs to be. Let's see here. And I need you to be faced that way, and then we're going to just go ahead and do this. Oopsie. I don't want to do that. Okay. There we go. And then that's going to come out. I'm going to have you there to here. And I kind of want these facing this same way. I'm going to have to go back and fix some of the pieces on that side. But that's okay. We don't mind too much. It's going to be 2 and 3, and then you're going to go up. Rotate you over. Check to make sure. There we go. There we go. And now we're just going to rinse and repeat that and then close it all off. And I think we can get away with this here, yeah? Yeah. Do that. And a couple more of these. You're going to go that way. You go that way. We're going to get ourselves in a slightly better situation. Repeat. Repeat. And then that comes back this way. And so that's just going to come back. And since we actually have powered this up, there you go. I don't know which way I'm going to have those face, but we'll see. It would have been better if they had set it up so that you have those little reinforced pieces, like you see that section in the middle. For the corners, it would have been nice if they had it for both facing corners. That way, you know, you didn't have to be quite so particular with the way that you were placing things down. But it is what it is. It's okay. We'll make it work. Hiccups. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, so now for the test. Can we open this thing up? And just so you know, yes, I have put blocks in backwards before, and it caused all sorts of problems. Alright, so if we go to the other side, we can open up this one. There you go. And so with that, you should actually have a pretty good idea of what we're planning, right? Let's go here. We'll do this really quick. And this way you can see a little bit better what we're talking about here. And so now we actually have a very large hangar space that allows us to accommodate multiple ships of different sizes. And hopefully it'll be something interesting once we're done. So now what's left to do? We want to get our stuff down here done. So I'm going to probably go ahead and this weekend I will get the floor in down here, which is just going to be basically blast doors. So we're just going to go through a lot of iron. And then, like I said, what we're going to do is I'm going to put in 3 connectors in the floor to start. We'll have them in the middle, down the middle line. One that will split basically where the 2 doors up here on the east to west orientation. So the side to side, those will be there. That'll be basically an indicator of roughly where that connector is going to be. And then we'll have a 3rd connector in the middle of the next hangar space. Now we will have that expand out as we need to, and as utility demands. Like if we need to put things in the wall, we will. If we need to put things higher or lower, off center, that way we can actually make this be a general holding area for most of our vehicles that we're not using, which is why we went with the size that we did, mainly so that I can get the little transport shuttle thing we have over there, the cargo hauler, over here and out of the way, because that thing is just massive, and it's sitting where my my new actual shuttle is supposed to be parked. And you know, we built a bunch of automation on that, and I really don't want to see all of that work go to waste. So anyway, all right, so I think we're going to go ahead and call this one here. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun hanging out, getting stuff done. I need to get the walkways in. I do think this is going to be nice when it's done. So let me know what you think. Would you like to see me maybe swap these out for windows instead? We could just put like the regular windows in here. I kind of like having the walkways. I think it makes sense to have these be open. Even though we don't normally have to deal with it in the game. You know, in real life, if you had something this large, you would probably have venting on it to allow wind to pass through it, because when these things go up, they would become a huge sail, and you don't want that on things that you're trying to open and close. So the other portion of it is that because we have the indents, if it were to rain in real life and on something like this, you would end up with thousands of gallons of water, or potentially thousands of gallons of water in this area. And so you would really need a place or a way to drain it without opening them. If you've ever seen some large objects like this, where because there are actually doors like this in real life, they will have little drain areas on them, generally on both sides, and then whatever side goes vertical, like so with this one, since it opens, from the way we're looking, since it opens like that, you would have really large drains on this side, so that as it was opening, more water would be able to drain off of it to make it easier. So we don't have that type of dynamic or system in the game, so it's not a huge issue to worry about. But I do still like to keep things, you know, somewhat realistic. Anyway, enough of that. I am going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody.